Love them knives here, LTK. Thanks for dropping by. Got the Archbishop pass around group. They sent me, I got 3. I mean, normally pass around group we get 1 knife, but there's 3 here. Very impressive. The other 2 pouches are on the table there, but they all look the same. I thought I'd stack them up here. So they gave us, some examples here to look at without machining, different patterns of machining. You can get even more than this, i.e., here you go. Not quite 8 inches overall, 3.5-inch blade. I guess 3-inch cutting edge, and Bowler M390, made by We Knives. This is that Pro Series. This is the Archbishop, as opposed to the Fortis, which is right here. So I had a Fortis. I've already reviewed one, and I really thought I was going to keep mine, and I may roll back around to grab one as a keeper user. But now that I have the Archbishop here, I'm not sure. Which one do you like better? They both have a cutaway so you can finger flick them, but that would be a tough decision because these are really nice. I like these. They're titanium frame lock flipper, like I said, Bowler M390 blades on them, 275 smackaroos, but they're made by We Knives in China. Nice backspacer, finishes things, titanium pocket clip, great, love it. Don't know if the hardware is titanium or not. Let me see if I got my little magnet hanging down here. No, it's not, apparently. Well, can't tell on this because I got the steel blade under it, but yeah, I don't think that's titanium. I think that's steel. But those are like a socket head screw. They're more finished looking than a button top like you'd have here. See these? Yeah. So I like that. That's a more finished, a nicer look. And the pivot's very minimal. Nothing going on there that's real fancy, which is kind of unfortunate because you're doing a lot of milling work on this. Wouldn't it be nice to have something a little bit more ornate for a pivot? Just saying. Oh well. But there's a lot of knives out there that don't have a very ornate pivot. My Freak doesn't. Of course, this is not a $275 knife. This is more than $270. This is my Snafu, and this is very basic. So there you go. Oh, by the way, so a 9-inch knife compared to about a 8-inch knife, an inch difference. Big difference there. Let's get the tape measure out. 3.5, yes, and not quite 8 inches, but getting there. Like 7.85, something like that overall. And how fat is it? About 13 millimeters at just a 1/2 inch, and blade stock is 0.15 at 3.8, so it's coming up on 4 millimeter blade stock. Nice, good looking knives. I like the action on them. I have not Rockwelled these, and I have never Rockwelled a Fortis. You can look and see if you see anything on our spreadsheet. I always leave the link to our test results spreadsheet and knife cutting performance spreadsheet, but I don't know of anybody who's tested this or even cut tested them. But the We Knives that I've tested in M390, you can look at that part of the sheet. And yes, the ones I've had tested have all been a minimum of 60. And I think a few have been over that, but not much over 60. So at least they're meeting the minimum of the 60 to 62 Rockwell range. So that's good. And is it sharp? Okay. Yeah, they are. They're very sharp out of the pouch. Very comfortable. Ergos are great. I like the Ferrum Forged design. I like the Ferrum Forged design so much I got the Mordax. Now this little puppy dog was, $260, made by ProTech aluminum. But let me tell you, if you want something lightweight, and we can compare that here. If you want something lightweight, there you go. And there was some other people going, okay, it's $260 for this Mordax. Do I really want to go down that road? Because it's pretty much the same price as the Ferrum Forge Pro Series knives. And I said, that's a really individual thing. If you want something super light and you want to get away from a frame lock, there you go. But if you like the frame lock and you like titanium as opposed to aluminum, here you go. And it's heavier, more substantial in your hand, but some people are not afraid of a few extra ounces. So let's go to the scales and take a look. Let's get the middle one now. Another aspirated model here. 128.9. Let's roll back around to ounces. 4.5. Okay, 4.5 ounces. Let's throw the full one down because I would imagine this to be a little heavier. No, not much. Okay, not much. And let's throw the Mordax on here. 99 grams. Okay, so big difference in weight. There's 3.5. 3.5 ounces. Pretty light. This is real light. Now, I mean, I've talked to a few guys that have the Mordax, and some of them are a little not so happy with the edginess of all this machining. This is like a cheese grater along here, okay? And this is definitely grippy. If you're looking for grippy, you got it here, because this is almost, the edges are a little sharp here, haven't really been rounded, so it's grippy. This is grippy. Is my way of saying cheese grater. So if you want something a little smoother and a little less harsh on your hands, these are more refined, rounded, smooth, and it's the same price, so, what have you. This is Bowler M390, right? But this is CPM 20CV, so it's, USA equivalent of M390, so supposedly. Very close. Nice. I like the action, though, don't you? Wow. If you've got one, let me know. It's really hard to think about. If I wanted to keep her, would I go Archbishop or Fortis? And then the other thing is, which style of machining would I go with? Because I wouldn't get plain. I'd get one that was machined. Plus, it gives you more grip here. Ceramic bearings, premium steel, comfortable in the hand. I mean, the ergos are good. I'm not going to complain about the ergos. And then you roll forward, even if you got big hands, you're still good there. And right or left hand tip up carry on all these models. You can see on this one as well. Here, how that rolls. This one's very contoured. Look at how contoured that titanium is when it's like that. When it's not, then see when they do these patterns here, it's flat. It's not contoured here. Okay? So if you get a machined one, it's not going to be a rounded contoured scale. It's going to be a machine scale, a flat one that's machined. But you got that kind of real dirty stonewash look to it. I think it's kind of cool. It's very industrial looking, but I think it's in keeping with the knife. You've got some jimping back here, and you can feel that. It's not below grade. I mean, it's about even width, but you can feel that. So that and the cutaways here on some of the machined ones give you some extra grip, as well as the top of the spine where you've got jimping. The blade shape makes a lot of sense. Okay, so piercing, slicing, not a problem. Interesting how, I mean, there's some people that complain, hey, yeah, that front choil, all that, but, you're killing me here because, you got a 3-inch blade and you could have close to 3.5 cutting, but you only got a 3-inch cutting. because you got this huge cutaway. So just depends on your personal taste how you go for that detent. It's appropriate. It's nice. That flips open really nice. Look at this. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah. Okay. So it's, you know, it's not a 6. It's not that strong. Not even close. Okay, I can kick it out, but it takes a pretty good, for me, I have to snap it pretty hard like this to snap that blade out. So I'd call it at least a 5. At least a 5. Yeah. That was a super lazy flip. I was trying to fail it again, but this is a very natural. Wow, this is right there. This is the, and especially if you're gonna finger flick, you're gonna have the cutaways for that. Then I think the detent's appropriate. About a 5, 5.1, somewhere in there detent scale. But definitely, you know, 6 is starting into the detent from hell. And especially if you're going to have a cutaway where you can finger flick, you don't want a 6 or a 7 on detent. You want something like that. And that's really nice. So, like them all. I was really taken with the Fortis when I first got the Fortis. And now, Archbishop is really cool. And it may have even a little bit more sensible shape to the blade. You got some jimping on top of the flipper tab. It's a bit up in the air, but it's fairly minimal. At least it's not wide, like front to back. You know, some of the flipper tabs are really huge lengthwise here. And this is very slender. And it's not too tall, and it really works well. Very intuitive, easy to actuate, get the knife. So yeah, no blade play, no lock rock on these knives. There's your lockup on this one, about 30%, I imagine. What are these? Pretty close, same. Pretty consistent there, yeah. Pretty consistent. So, but I think they're both winners. The Fortis and the Archbishop. Definitely. Nice knives. All right, I'm going to cut you loose. Thank you so much. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.